everyone, Dragon King here, bringing you a new commentary, but this time not alone. Allow them to introduce themselves.
What is up, guys?
That's your intro, okay?
Yeah, that's my sick intro.
Today, we'll be talking about the future of Destiny, as well as we all know, Bungie confirmed of a new expansion this spring, and we're going to speculate. We're going to talk about what's going to happen in future DLC. So that being said, I think what we should start off is with that leak that came out back in year 1. You guys remember that leak? It showed Destiny, The Dark Below, House of Wolves, then a major expansion called The Plague of Darkness, which turned out to be The Taken King. And after that was something called The Void Vex, or something like that. So
it was also called like Forge of Gods, and that was like Cabal or something.
Yeah. So let's bounce on that. If it's the Vex, what do you think it's gonna be like?
I mean, if it's the Vex, it has to deal with the Exo Stranger. Like the Exo Stranger is a big part of the Vex. Because she said she didn't like them and stuff like that in the story. And also, we've been getting a lot of Grimoire cards that deal
There's
with like,
actually a
Exo
Grimoire
Stranger,
card.
Goes to Stranger, walking through the tower and stuff.
There's actually a Grimoire card that says something about the Exo Stranger. I'm not gonna quote it exactly because I don't remember exactly what it said, but the card went a little like this. I go to the same place over time and time again, and I see the same things time and time again, and I see the same people time and time again, always set in time, or something like that. Basically, the Stranger's talking about is that she keeps being at the same place at the same time every single time over and over again, and already knows the events, but every time she does those events is a different person she sees. Now, I think that's a innuendo to the fact that Destiny is a multiplayer game, so everyone creates their own character and stuff, but I think that could also be more meaning, because if you know in the cutscene, you know that when she's with the I have no time to explain, that I don't have no time to explain, you see her talking to somebody, and then she goes and travels to some other place. Now, this is a fan theory I've read. This is a long time ago I read this. The theory goes is that when she goes and is talking to someone, who she's talking to is you, but in the future. And when she steps through time to a future fight with you. So what I'm thinking is, what if the DLC is that future fight? You see what I'm saying?
True. In Vault of Glass, Kabir, in one of his things that he said in the Grimoire, he even says when he said that the big wall in the back, he let in the light, but somebody was there with him, but he couldn't see her, and he said it was a her also.
Did he mention if it was an EXO?
That somebody was there with him, watching over him, just like the Exo Stranger did with our Guardians.
Did he say it was an EXO though?
Yes, he said it was an Exo female, and it was
okay.
Like
so then it has to be the Stranger then, because that's the only major EXO female that we know of. Now, there's another speculation I've been thinking of. The only other thing, if they don't go with the Vex, is alright, this still relates to the Vex. If they go with the Vex, but not with the Stranger, they have to go with Osiris.
Yeah, true. I mean, Osiris knows a lot about the Vex.
As you know, if you go flawless on Trials of Osiris, you go to Mercury, which is controlled by the Vex, and there's a hidden room that you find under the spawn that shows sort of like a experimentation kind of thing going, and you see corpses of skeletons and of Vex. And we know that Osiris had a very thing of the Vex in the same way that what's her name? Eris and Toland had with the Hive. Osiris is that fixated with the Vex. So I think that this DLC expansion is gonna be with the Vex. Because we haven't had the Vex for quite some time. We have Hive twice. We have the Fallen. And we only have Vex towards the end of Vanilla Destiny, and there's too many hints or loose ends involving the Vex. So I feel that next will be that. But out of the two, it either has to be the Stranger's Rifle or Osiris. What do you think?
I think it's gonna be stranger, most definitely. I mean, Osiris is probably gonna have a part in it because somebody even says that you're probably gonna have to meet Osiris in the future. Because in one of the Grimoire cards, it even reads when the Guardians went to the lighthouse, they say they felt somebody watching over them, meaning Osiris, and they felt like they were being watched constantly when they were walking through the lighthouse. And that's very interesting because like that room that you're talking about, that's like where Osiris did like all his studies and stuff after he got exiled from the tower or the city.
Yep.
For, like trying to figure out the Vex too much. I don't know. That's just speculation that it might be Osiris and both of them combined. I don't really know.
Now, you did say you found something in Taken King that could lead to something else in DLC. If it's not the Vex, who or what will be next?
Actually, the thing that I found that could lead with anything, it's in the Taken King Regicide mission, and I'm actually doing that right now. And basically what it is these 3 statues that you can walk up to and stand. And your ghost talks about this hive god named Nokris, and that he's supposed to be the father of Oryx or something like that. And there's Crota, and then there was also one that was Oryx.
Now,
Nokris, I don't know if that's
here's my question though. We do know in the Book of Sorrows, that Oryx, as you in case you didn't know, started as a female and was with her 2 sisters, right? And
yeah.
They made a pledge to protect the hive by going with the darkness because the father died. Now here's a thing. What if he didn't die and he is also coming for revenge for Oryx? Now that would be like a copy and paste of Taken King, which I think would be a cop out if they were to do that. But it is a possibility of him coming back. Now, you guys watching, you can correct me in the comment section below if I'm right or wrong about that, if he could possibly live or not. But I don't know. Let's see, what do we want to see? What do we want to see in the DLC? Enough speculating of the story. What things do you want to see appear in the DLC?
I mean, honestly, I would like to see more Cabal. I don't know why, but just the Cabal, they're interesting. So is the Vex. The Vex is very interesting to me.
I think the Vex is very interesting. I think the Vex is more impactful because their whole objective is to rewrite history so that the universe cannot function without the Vex, and the Vex cannot function without the universe, kind of thing, which is a mind F if you really think about it. They're basically trying to define the universe as Vex, and without one, the other can't exist, and that shit's crazy if they were to do that. But on the Cabal, we do know that after Shield Brothers, all the major commanders that are in our solar system have been taken out, and signals have been sent back to the main empire about what the Guardians have been doing. So a possibility would be of them coming after us for revenge and to take over our solar system. They only stopped because of the Vex, but because we did so much damage to all the other races, right now would be a perfect opportunity for a major invasion from the Cabal.
Yeah.
Now, personally, I feel that Taken King's expansion was great. I really felt that the expansion was great, but what things do you think did Taken King flop in that needs to be fixed in this new expansion?
I mean, Taken King definitely lacked in plenty of things. Like, I mean, it was a great expansion. They came out with a new place, the Dreadnought. They came out with swords. They came out with a lot of good gear. But the thing that they actually messed up in, one was transactions, which really, they could have just done something different with that. And also, another thing they flopped in was they didn't just give us the exotics that we really wanted and the ones that they showed us in the trailers, but they're coming out in the next spring update for future. And another thing they flopped in was actually like updates that we've all been asking for a long time, like chats in the tower, things like that. Like the little things, they just worried about the little things, and they could have updated the big things to make player gaming. So
what features would you say you want? Like what major things do you want them to fix or add in this next expansion this spring?
I mean, definitely matchmaking. They say they fixed it, but
well, they didn't say they fixed it. They said that they're working on it. We already know that Control has been confirmed to be connection-based matchmaking. They're finicking around with Iron Banner. This Iron Banner that went by as of the time of the recording, did not have the matchmaking. So they're still finicking around with that. Hopefully by the spring update that should be fixed. Out of everything, Trials of Osiris needs that. Most definitely. Trials needs that matchmaking fixed. But anything else do you think they need to really crack down? I think one thing they need to crack down on is release the missing exotics that was supposed to come out in Taken King.
Yeah, those are already confirmed to be out in the next update. I really want to see those too, especially for the Astral type verse for my Warlocks, because that allows you to blink, and it also allows your blink to have a decreased cooldown, so which is really good.
I really would like to see, I really like to see them add the what is it? The exotic boots for Warlocks, because Warlocks haven't gotten exotic boots yet, and that's unfair. Damn you, Titans and Hunters. But I also want them to show off the exotics that they showed off in the trailers. Like, where's the Void Lord with the Fire Lord?
Yeah, those are two things that people say they took out of the loot table, but I don't understand why they would put it in a DLC trailer, but not put it in the game. I mean, that makes
for future DLC. Make more money. Save the shit for later. In terms of because we already know that Bungo confirmed that they're gonna be adding a lot more PvE to thrive us PvE players that have been wanting, because we're tired of King's Fall. Even though King's Fall was a good raid, I feel like they could have done a little bit more. Like with challenge mode, I feel like they could have added a little more PvE content. So in terms of PvE, what do you think they should add?
I mean, they should add in a whole bunch of stuff. I mean, they should definitely give us a new raid or something like that. They should give us a PvE content that, like, doesn't require us to replay it every single week, something different. Like Prison of Elders, that was fun because you would actually have to go in, you didn't know what the modifiers were. Modifiers were different every week. Goal loss, everything was just different every week. It all felt different. So that one was actually mainly different, and I'm actually mad that they made it you can't do it in year 2, and you can do it, but you only get year 1 gear out of it.
So, well, that's interesting for you to say that, because the general Destiny community actually did not enjoy Prison that much, because it just ended up being repetitive for being a horde mode that's basically Destiny in nutshell. But that is interesting, a concept to bring up. If they were to actually give us something to do that isn't the same thing every day, which they did try to do in King's Fall. We gotta admit, they did try that with challenge mode, but I feel that they could have done a little bit more instead of the same challenges every week. Be it like, let's say we know that War Priest comes around. We know War Priest is gonna come out around every time. Don't make the challenge the same thing every time it comes War Priest, or make it so that 1 week it's all 3 bosses is challenge mode, something interesting like that. Just keeping us on our toes and always surprising us with something new. Something else I would love was that they did was the concept of hidden exotics. I would love to see more of those, like Black Hammer or Sleeper Simulant. Those were really good hidden exotics that they did, and they could expand that more, make it more of a treasure hunt. Like, they really hyped the community up with Sleeper Simulant. People felt that they could glitch into areas, and it was a lot bigger than it was, and it was a very big some consider it a flop, that it wasn't as spectacular as we'd hoped. But if they were to do something as we hoped, I think it would be a lot more successful for Destiny if they were to do that. What do you think?
That's true.
I feel that they could also expand more on the PvP side. If you look at it, the really only innovative kind of PvP is Rift. I feel that they can expand it even farther with PvP. If they add more game modes, that would be a lot more interesting. Any game modes you think they should add to PvP?
I mean, there was one that I even said a while back that they should add, and they actually added it with Twins and Doubles. I said they should add in a 2v2 elimination type playlist, and people call me dumb for that, but they actually added it in. I also said they should add in some type of search and destroyer type thing from like Call of Duty or something like that into Destiny. Yeah, that would be freaking sweet. I mean, I know they have
Well, you gotta take into account Trials is the closest thing to that, but if they were to do even more competitive, that would be an interesting thing to come by. That would make Trials easier, but they need to fix the loot table if they were to do something. Give us something that's more rewarding, like for example with Trials, we do know that you could get 320 gear, but only if you go flawless. So I think what they should have done is regular loot drops would be 310 and up, as well as the lighthouse stuff, but like the lighthouse stuff has a better chance of being 315 and up, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So that would be an interesting thing to do. I feel like they should add more strikes and continue the concept that they did with strikes of you know, when you do the Vanguard strike playlist, every time you do the same strike is never is not exactly the same thing. Like if I were to do let's say let me think of one, Undying Mind, for example, and in the beginning is the Vex, and I go through the whole thing and I kill the Undying Mind in the end, we got him, boom, it's done, and then we get Undying Mind again, and then next thing you know it's the Taken. And I think what they should do is expand on that, give us a more of a random factor, and maybe even go as far as give us a random factor of the boss. Maybe at the end of the boss, the Undying Mind is taken, or I don't know. You know what I'm saying? Just give us more random factor in terms of the strike so that it has more replay value.
Yeah, I 100% agree on that one.
Any exotics? If because we all know they're gonna make new exotics. Is there any concept of an exotic that you want to see them bring to Destiny in this new expansion?
I mean, I don't really know. I mean, I know they should add in more. They should add in exotics for factions. Like New Monarchy has their own certain exotic gun. Dead Orbit, things have their own certain exotic guns. Like Trials, they don't really have. I mean, they should have one. They don't really have a main exotic, which is the Fate of All Fools, but they changed it into the Jade Rabbit, which I don't really understand why they did that. But
that was a little bit disappointing that they did that, unfortunately. But I feel that they could. I still feel that they can bring that back because of if they just change the perk of Fate of All Fools, they can bring Fate of All Fools for everyone. And besides, there's a grimoire for it, so I don't know. Maybe in the new expansion they'll do something with it. We don't know. We don't know, to be honest. But let me see. I wrote some things down to talk about. What do you think will Bungie most likely will do? These are things we've listed, things that we hoped for and what we want to see. What do you think Bungie will actually do on their end?
That one is really, I don't even know.
Because we always make our expectations high, and then they always come a little bit short. So, out of everything that we listed, what do you think the most likely thing they'll do to this new expansion?
Probably just gonna add updates for PvE content and add in a little tiny little event type thing like they usually do. Like, I don't really think that's gonna be that great.
I mean, if they do a raid, I think if they do the raid, they have to like be on their A game and bring the biggest, best, most complicated, difficult raid they've ever thought of ever. Because not only is this expansion supposed to bring in new Destiny players, but what it's doing is bringing back old ones. People who've already been burnt out by the Taken King and have said, "Screw it, I'm done. I'm moving on to the next game." And keep in mind that Destiny is right now going against a lot of major competition right now. The major player who people keep saying is the Destiny killer is the Division. So that's a big thing right there that they need to compete with. And if they're gonna bring people off of that, which has been getting positive acclaim, they need to put up their A game and then go 110 more.
Yeah, like the Division's loot system is already 10 times better than Destiny. That's what a lot of people have been saying, and when I experienced it the first time, I even noticed the same thing. The Division's loot system is 10 times better because you don't just get crap based on your level, you actually have to work for your stuff. And not only is the Division just like Destiny, I mean, it's just like Destiny in every single way, it's just that it's its own multiplayer containment or whatever, animation type of game. And yeah, basically that's what it is. So that one is probably going to kill Destiny, but if they do bring in a better raid, they need to make it so complicated. Like my first time doing Oryx and killing them because of how hard it was, I was so happy. So they need to bring something back that's like so complicated for year one players that like they just can't figure it out. Like
Personally, I feel that this raid should be so complicated because we already know that every single raid that's come out, it has been beaten in 24 hours. We know if the raid is a success if they make it complicated enough that it takes more than 24 hours to figure out. If they can accomplish that, they just won back most of the community.
Yeah.
So, any last thoughts that you want to say?
Not really.
Not really. Any
last
minute hopes? I'm hoping that the light level. I hope they improve the loot system. The light level is, I think, it's supposed to be 330. I hope it's more than 330 because just 10 light is not that interesting. I hope that the pricing isn't too much because you know they're gonna charge us for this shit. You know damn sure they're gonna charge us.
They need to make the light level reasonable level. Like they need to make it high. Like Skyrim, things like that. You have to literally grind, and the level it just keeps going. You don't just like get a piece of gear and it automatically ranks you up that high. Because the light level in this, it might seem high, but it really isn't. So they need to make it like 500 or something, not just 319 or something like that, or 320. Because that's actually not that hard to get to.
So, there you go. That's our final thoughts. Anything you want to ask for people to answer in the comment section?
In the comment section, I mean, they should like ask us basically, or I'm asking them. I don't know why I'm saying that. What do you guys think? Basically, what do you guys think of the raid is going to be, or what the next expansion is going to be about? Exo Stranger, Osiris, or whatever. Just
give us your theories in the comment section below. Give us your theories in the comment section below. Anything you'd like to see, what you hope for. Shade's channel is going to be in the description box below. He does Destiny content. He does walkthroughs on things. He does more than just Destiny. You already know my channel. I do FPS content now. Used to do other games, but we'll expand on that at a later time. Anything else you want to bring up?
No, not really.
No, not really?
I think I'm good.
Don't forget to follow us on Twitter. Both of that will be linked in the description box below. Follow me on Twitch. You already know, every Friday we do Trials of Osiris, flawless runs. Don't guarantee a carry, but I do try. We also do Zombie Saturdays and a bunch of other stuff. Schedules are always on Twitch. There's commands for it. Shade also streams. He mostly streams on YouTube, so watch out for that. Go subscribe to him. I think that's pretty much it. This is Dragon King signing off, and Shade signing off. Hope you enjoy. Please like, favorite, subscribe, and see you next time.